Hi, I hope you're doing well. It's good evening here. How are you doing? Is it good morning? Is it good afternoon from your side? Thank you so much for clicking onto this video. My name, for those who do not know me, is Emma Terry, and on this channel we talk about mental health awareness, we talk about mental wellness, we talk about emotional wellness, we talk about being okay, we talk about the sicknesses zenye zo happen kwa hii akili yetu, anxiety, you feel like I'm about to get a panic attack. But in this African culture, in these African countries, do people understand? We are getting there. We are getting there. We are not yet there, but we are getting there. And thank you so much to the government for the little support that they have supported, because it's like, I don't know the percentage. I'm going to do the research and nitaandika hapo kwa screen. The funding that is supposed to be given by the government to fund mental health awareness or mental health treatment or conversations is so little as compared to what is supposed to be allocated. That one I'm sure. So what do we do? Because if the government maybe is not ready to talk about this, what do we do about ourselves? Are we going to wait until we die, until everyone gets depression, until everyone is dying about because of panic attacks? Because people committed suicide? By the way, let's applaud our government on the same breath. Because of why? Because it was a criminal offense, yes, to commit suicide. Uende kucommit suicide hivi ukose kukufa upatikane, you're going to be jailed. Yes, your own life. But now the fact that it was ruled that now iondolewe, it is very unconstitutional to do that. It means that now people are now open, and the government, the people now, they are now opening their minds and their eyes and their hearts, and conversation. Now it is open. It means that the stigma that is there on mental health conversations itaenda ikiisha, which means treatment or funding would be well understood. If I would say that I'm going to Mathare or I'm going to a particular mental health center to get therapy for my therapy sessions, or to get treatment because taking medicine, taking depression and antidepressants, it's not supposed to sound. I was telling another friend of mine, ali comments mahali tukua tumeketi. Me, I call out people, but I don't shame. I don't. Alisema unajua fulani alichizi, and then I was like, what? Uongo alidu? Akasema pana, unajua kuna vile actually hajui what exactly that person mwenye nilimuulizia hajui nini ilimhappen exactly, but vile nilifuatilia, it was just a condition of the mind. It was an emotional, alikuwa down emotionally, ile ana approach depression. Unajua pia depression, before you get to depression, kuna ile cycle tu, kuna ile two symptoms like mtu akisha diseclude, akisha kaa hivi, ama akipata episode maybe anakuangana bipolar or something, mnasema mtu alichizi. I was so offended. I was very offended, and that person said tunajuana very, very personally. I was very offended because people are not ready for these conversations, and it is very unfortunate. I was told that there is one of my relatives who died many years ago because of depression. Mi vile niliambiwa hivyo after high school, because is when I actually chunguza what actually killed so and so, depression. In those many years ago, in the 90s, so people are still getting depression and dying. And when are we going to be open for this kind of conversations? When are we going to open so many facilities that people can go and walk in for free sessions, for free therapy sessions, for free medication? Before we get there, my friends, the first and the number one way of you getting help, unajua naongea hivi because I know in the country it is crazy. Hakuna pesa kabisa. The economy is chew. Hakuna do kabisa. Watu wako na stress. Na nashangaa watoto watasoma na nini? Tutakula nini kesho? Some are wondering, am I going to have my job tomorrow? But I would encourage you today, because we are in this crisis together. We are all in this crisis together. And when I talk about something, it's something that I know I've actually gone through, I know people who are going through it. Personally, the economy has affected me 101%. But I know I'm rich because I have hope and I have faith, and I know that things will, yani ni siku tu moja mambo inakuja tu inabadilika. You know, there's a very beautiful song that I love by Guardian Angel. Not very, hata nisikupe warning, just listen. Inaendanga aje: sasa nikifa moyo leo na kumbe kesho ndo ulipanga kunibariki itakuaje. Whenever I'm about to give up, apart from my child that I think about, I also think about that part, because I have goals. Everyone have goals. I have goals. I have my bucket list. I have so many things I want to achieve. Don't we all? But now you are wanting, because we are in this crisis together, I am going to encourage you today, because I know there are so many people who do not even have that hope for tomorrow. There are so many people who do not have that hope for tomorrow, and I don't want you to give up. I saw a lady who recorded herself in 2022 when she was heartbroken. I have done that many times. She was so heartbroken and broke and just thinking about the worst. And she recorded herself and she was saying, ako tu, because she's holding on, because anajua ndio anafaa kufanya. Si ati kuna anything she's waiting upon. She said there's any hope that she has left. She's just hoping because they are told to hope and wait. And I'm telling you, as she was giving the story, it was actually a testimony. God had turned her life 360 degrees. So I'm telling you, be encouraged. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Kama ni do, kama ni relationship haijipi, unasikia kimaya hapa. Unasikia kimaya hapa because that person had broken you. Amekuwa, mimi najua vile mtu unasikianga ni kama umekelewa kimaya hapa, and then you're trying to breathe, and then the air is trying to find its way. Umenyongwa na gikindi because of that relationship. I am sorry, but I know, I understand, na kufeel, na relate. But don't worry, nothing lasts. Hakuna kitu ina last. Hata sisi wenyewe, we are here for a while, we'll die someday. So don't worry, do not worry. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter kani your relationship. Unajua tunaweza sema, mkishaachana na mtu unaweza sema, sasa kwani ni 12 kama the disciples of Jesus? No. But now there's one thing to say and the other thing to actually remove yourself or detach yourself from this person, from this other person that you are dating, because I understand there are matters of the heart. Hata ipelekangu vile unajiambia, unapeleka pole pole, it's a matter of time. But as you are waiting to heal, I want to encourage you today, please always remember that hakuna kitu ina last. Hata hiyo feeling mbaya yenye una feel hivyo itaisha. Sawa. Kama wewe unashtuka kazi sijui nini kutaendaje kesho, nitakula nini, please do not worry. Sasa birds wenye huwa wanalala wanamkanga na wanashiba na wanaendelea kuzaana. But God always satisfies them, always provides for them. Then what about us? And we are his most valued and loved creatures. Then why are we discouraged? Unajua mimi nilikuwa naongeanga tu bora niongee, lakini saizi I talk with an understanding. Like nikiongea mimi mwenyewe, I believe in what I'm telling you. Sometimes unakaa hivi na shanga, na watu watakula nini hapa? Unakaa hivi na shanga, na hiyo shule nitawahi graduate lini? Unakaa hivi na shanga, na huyu mtu atayenitolea mahali. Unakaa kwa relationship hivi unaona umedharauliwa sana. Don't worry. Ule mwenye alikuumba is the one who values you the most, and he knows and he has plans for you. So I am just here to encourage you. I want to give you an example. You know, one of the best encouraging things or factors that calms my heart and tells my heart, slow down, be patient, do not worry. You remember the 2020 crisis? Did it get you? Did it get to you? Hiya, let's talk about 2007 post-election violence. Were you affected? Have you been affected by a natural maybe crisis or something political, and it affected probably your business, your family, your relationship with your family? You remember for all those, okay, could be a natural calamity, could be death, probably someone you lost and you felt like you couldn't move on. And how are you doing today? You know, I've seen people say that once you lose a loved one, you don't like really get over the pain. You learn to live with it. But think about that the following day. Think about that week when they died. How are you? And how are you right now? I'm just trying to show you like situations you've been able to get out of situation. That divorce, you went through divorce and you had a heartbreak and you felt like I cannot move past this. You felt like I cannot move past this, and here you are. You have a full-blown relationship, you healed, and you believed in love again. You were so broke, but God did it for you. You know, those things that God did in the past, yani, those things that Mungu ashaifanya in the past, they're supposed to be the examples that you're supposed to do today. That if he did it before, he can surely do it again. That if he did it before, he's surely going to do it today and again and again and again. That is always the best and the sweetest encouraging factor. And for example, in our country or in Africa in general, people are looking at celebrities, social media pages, and people are looking at lives of others, and you are wondering, when will I ever get there? Do you think people will ever post their problems? Definitely not. So if you really admire someone's life, you've not walked into their shoes, you do not know what kind of problems they endure, you do not know what kind of secrets and dark secrets they are hiding, but they only show you the top layer, they only show you the upper part, and you're there killing yourself and wondering, when will I ever become like so and so? Like that person is at the same age as me, and I don't think I'm anywhere close to achieving half of what they've achieved. Like, you beat yourself every day without knowing that whatever words, whatever things you allow your mind to listen to, whatever words you allow yourself to talk, whatever discouragement you allow others to put through you or make you think through, you know, as we are waiting for our next blessing, as we are waiting for God to bless us, let us learn to appreciate what we have right now. Because as at where you stand, there's someone who's admiring your life and wondering, when will I become like Emma? When will I become like so and so? And you're there beating yourself and really looking at yourself with low value. Please, you know, hold yourself shoulders high and really know that there are people who look up to you, and always be at your best. Be at your best. Try, because it always comes in handy to you. Because the moment you're so gloomy and you feel like you're going through so many problems, like, just refuse to look like your problems. Just refuse to look like your problems. Ngara mtoke kuangalia hivi, ukimwambia una adu, ukimwambia you're going through some dark shit, akose kuamini, of course, because umejaa neema. Ni neema yenyewe pia wewe juu umeenda ukaoga, umeoga ukangara. Okay? So refuse to look like your problems. And because those calamities that we went through, something like COVID came na ikaenda, si ndio? Kuna watu walipitia El Nino, ilikuja ikaenda. We survived. COVID came, ikaenda, we survived. This government, imekuja, hata yenyewe itaenda, itaisha tu, because they are not ready to change. They are just making I saw a certain segment on Citizen TV that comes, I think, on Fridays, inaitwa the Diaspora Connect, whereby the host is calling people from different parts of the world, but now they are Kenyans, and asking them about their experiences and all that. And it's lovely to hear people who've actually gone to look for greener pastures in other parts of the world. It's nice to hear their experiences. But now listening to some people, and I was like, hey, man, we're in such a good country. It's just that bad leadership and people wanting, like, people are just selfish. We're in a very selfish government, whereby badala watu wa disburse do kwenye inafaa kukua in project zenye zinafaa zisaidia watu, they are just enriching themselves, their pockets and their families, and somehow there's nothing we can do about it. Labda tuende tuandamane, but ona sasa the things that you are still going through. So as you are waiting for God to give us that leader, in Wan Tam, as we are waiting for God to give us that leader, that good leader who is going to lead us in that best way, because a leader comes from God. And I feel like it's a mistake when you're a leader and you're not serving your people the way God wants you to do. God amekupatia mkate hivi, uko na watoto 10, unafaa ugawe hivi na hivi na hivi, lakini wewe unachukua your two favorite, mnaenda mnakula hiyo mkate yote, mnaacha wale wengine wako njaa. Wengine wanakufa. Wanakufa juu mkate haijawafikia jana, haikuwafikia leo, hata kesho ni kama hatapata. What happens? Watakufa, wako na stress, wanakufa na depression. But what do we do, guys? What do we do? Please refuse to give up. That is the first thing. Kukitokea maandamano tunaandamana. Okay? Kukitokea maandamano tunaandamana. Kukitokea ati sasa uko na stress na sasa unakufa peke yako, hapana. Pia hapo learn how, ongea na wao marafiki wako, mnaenda kuandamana na wao. Look at that close friend, ama that close family. Talk to them, because that is the number one way you're going to heal your heart. That is the number one way you're going to heal your heart, by speaking out. Look for ways. Kuja hapa kwa YouTube yangu, comment hapo, sema mimi natafuta place ya kwenda therapy na sina do, ama mimi naweza afford sessions, ni wapi best place ya kwenda. Because you're like, unajua what happens when you're in such a hard and tough corner of life, ni ati you're not able to see past what you're going through. Hawezi ona hata ile moral ulikuanga nayo kitambo, it comes and just inaisha tu once, because you're no longer interested in things, because you've tried so hard and you feel like nothing is working out. Okay? So the number one way of getting out is the willingness to get out of that situation. Hata kama ni maombi, try to say a word, because najua that is one of the hardest time when you go down, is one of the hardest time to actually even say a prayer. I know, but can you just try to say one word today, tomorrow 2 words, every day, try to improve yourself every single day. I promise you, few months to come, you'll not be in that same situation, and the God who took you out from that other situation na akakutoa, please do not forget, he can do it again, and do not limit him. Okay? So today as we speak, we are all crushed by the economy. We are all crushed. Tuko na stress. Wakenya tuko na stress. Let us all agree. But do you know what 2026 holds? No. Do you know what 2025 next month holds? No. Do you know what tomorrow holds? No. We do not know. So what if God is planning that big thing for you? What if God is planning that good and beautiful leadership? What if God is going to transform this Kenya into one beautiful democratic country? Utakuwa umekufa ulijua kitambo. No, usikubali. Hold on, hang in there. Shikilia pia sisi tuone Kenya ikienda mbele. Hold on, hata wewe mwenyewe ujione ukitoka hiyo bedsit ukienda 1B, ukitoka hiyo 1B ukijenga kwako. Hold on, usikwame ati niliachwa sijui nikafanywa. No. Focus on healing yourself. Go for that therapy. Talk to someone. Heal yourself. Love again. Life is short. You look back and you're like, God, that person made me go through that, and I believe in love. I believed in love again, and Look at me. You have the love of your life. Like, I mean, so much can change in a year, so much can change in a month, so much can change in a week, so much can change in a night. You just need to stay encouraged. You just need to keep trying, stay consistent. Don't give up. Try. Hapo kwenye unaamkanga kila siku, jaribu. As you're looking for something else, okay? Always be content. Be content, but don't settle, okay? Be content with what you have, with the little you have, with whatever you are able to maneuver hapo kwenu kwa kazi, ama hapo kwa home, ama kwa biashara yako. But look for the next thing, but do not let the next thing that you really want to achieve discourage you so much that you're so stressed you cannot be productive today. Hapana. Kila siku. Always be encouraged because God's mercies are new every morning. Okay? Tuishi leo, kesho itajililia, kesho iko na mwenyewe. Every single morning, Mungu anaamka anakupatia baraka yake yenye alikuwa amekupangia kwa hiyo siku ya hiyo siku. Kwa nikaa kusema kwa siku ya leo, so kwa siku ya hiyo siku. Okay. So, stay encouraged. And there's something very sentimental or very close to my heart that I would like to say is that personally, you know, being vulnerable. Someone told me, Emma, you know, being vulnerable is a gift. It's not everyone who is able want to get emotional. It's not everyone who is able to express themselves. It's not everyone who is able to actually say, I'm going through this, even to a stranger. And vulnerability is a gift itself. I did not know that, but vile udema aliniambia hivyo, I researched and I saw, actually it's true. And please, don't usiogope kukuwa vulnerable. Ongea ikutoke sababu itakutoka. Na sababu kesho you'll not be where you are. Utakuwa unalia the same tears. You'll have better problems or bigger problems. Unashangaa na ni aje hakunyeshi na ng'ombe zangu hazina nyasi ama hazina napier grass ya kutosha. Because uko na farming, dairy farming kubwa. You have poultry farming huko unashangaa. Na mbona market sahi ni kama demand iko kidogo chini, ni kama tutashukisha bei. You know, you have better problems because hakuna siku tutawahi kuwa hatuna tuko hivi sawa unless you stopped dreaming, unless you stopped living. So handle today's problems pole. By the way, na kama hujafukuzwa nyumba, kama hujafungiwa nyumba, na kama uko na chakula ya kukula, please at least shiba ukule. Think about now. You'll be able to be productive to think about tomorrow, to think about them. Don't think about Dubai. Don't think about your biggest poultry farm. Don't think about your biggest lands, your biggest land cruiser that you want to buy. Think about today. Think about today's meal. Think about waking up tomorrow healthy. You know, productive, being able to kick. Because when you stress about something that you're supposed to achieve maybe 2 years from now, and you're stressing about it today, your goals and your your goals and your planning is so misplaced, you're definitely going to stress yourself out of nothing. So handle today's issues. That's my point. Handle today's issues. Na sasa unajua nimesema kama nyumba haijafungwa na kama uko na chakula ya kukula, and then someone will tell me, by the way, my house imelokiwa for sure, and by the way, sina food. Hiyo ndio shida uko nayo saa hizi. Look for solution. Be vulnerable. Talk. Ambia mtu nitafutie job. Ukisikia job mahali na leo sina hata so nipe chakula leo. Talk, because the moment nimekaa hapa kwa hii kona nimelia, nimetoa bubbles kwa mapua, macho imefura, sasa najisaidia na nini? How am I helping myself? Alafu niamke with a heavy heart, no solution, no food, bado nyumba imefungwa. Get some solution, like, you know, man up, woman up, if there's such a word. Talk. That's the number one way of healing. And most importantly, thank you so much for listening up to this point, if you have. And there's one very beautiful thing I want to issue this evening. I want to issue a life free of trauma, a life free of stress zenye hata hazina miguu, stress zenye haziwezi solvika, things, generational burdens that you keep carrying. I pray that God is able to remove all those traumas and all those burdens from you so that you can be able to live well. This May, World's Mental Health Awareness Month. I really want to wish you a life full of peace, full of God's grace, full of productivity, full of a lot of creativity because now you're at peace, full of wanting, the desire to want to learn, the desire to want to live and be happy, the desire to want to be successful, and actually looking for ways on how to actually do that and implementing them. I wish you a life free of trauma and free of stress. Okay? So as we navigate through this stress of life, I really wish you peace and productivity. And yes, that is from the deepest part of my heart. So thank you very much for watching this video up to this point. See you on the next one, and happy mental health month. Bye. Bye.